What's up, fellow gamers? So a little bit different today. They just released Build 31 for this game, and as I traditionally do with just about any of these type of games, when they release a massive content changing and adding type patch, I like to do a whole new playthrough with a whole new character. So that's what I'm doing. But there's been a lot of changes. As you can see, there's target dummies now. A lot of good changes, a couple of bad changes. Any of you that are going to be logging in for the first time after this patch, if you used a lot of attack speed on your items like I did with my characters, you will notice that your damage has significantly decreased. On my Elementalist, I lost almost 7,000 DPS, like sheet DPS on my character sheet. That's huge. That's a big loss, something I'm not too thrilled about. And what they did, and the reason they did this is, I guess, I don't know, they felt that people were, which is true, people were chasing attack speed over any other stat. Like, no matter what stat you had on the item, if the item you had beforehand had a lot of attack speed, it didn't matter how much damage and extra shit the new item gave, the old item with attack speed would trump it almost every time. Just because it was so insanely powerful of a stat. Like, so what they've done is they've made it so the bonuses for attack speed from weapons are now multiplicative and not additive. So it makes it a lot harder to stack up a ton of attack speed. It's still possible, you just have to do it differently. They've added a bunch of new items, they've changed a bunch of items. There's a bunch more items and set bonuses and stuff that include attack speed now. They've also added attack speed to a lot of the devotion tree skills. So there's another great way to get some. There are some in the defensive trees and some in the offensive trees for devotion. So, you can get it either way, offensive or defensive spec. So that's, at least they've got that, because if it was only on offensive stuff, it would really screw over people who have spec'd heavily into the devotion tree with defensive stuff. They'd just be screwed outright. So they did that. That's a bummer. Like, it honestly, when I first logged on, I was kind of like, oh, that sucks. At first I was thinking, it probably won't be that big of a deal and whatever, but it really was. It was a very large hit to my character's overall damage, and it just sucked, because not only did it affect my sheet DPS, which is a large portion of my actual damage, it also affected my chance to proc all my chance on hit stuff, because I lost a total of like almost 60% attack speed with that nerf. So it was huge. It was a big deal. Still not a fan of it. Still getting over it. It definitely bothers me. I'm not happy about it. I'm hoping they'll maybe revisit that and kind of tweak it a little bit so it's not quite as hard of a hit to some of us. But at the same time, like I said, I understand why they did it. They want people to look at other stats in the game other than attack speed for offensive stuff. They don't want people, they don't want everybody speccing the exact same with their gear and their skills to build purely attack speed and nothing else. Diablo 3 did the same exact thing. When Diablo 3 first came out, attack speed was the god stat. Like, if you stacked a shitload of attack speed, you dominated. Like, you had the highest damage. That was just it. And that also made, back in the times when they had the auction house, that also made, well, it's actually not too bad. That made items on the auction house that had attack speed insanely inflated. Very expensive. Like, most of them you had to spend real money to get, and that was also kind of a bummer. But, I mean, I don't know. Still sucks. Really, Still sucks, because I loved that character. I had so much fun. Like, I stopped making playthrough videos with my I don't even remember the name of the class. I haven't played him in so long. It was my dual wield like Nightblade build. I don't remember what the hell it is. Trickster, that's what it was. It was a Shaman Nightblade. I was having so much fun with that Elementalist that I honestly I couldn't even enjoy playing anything else. It was so fun. It was such a blast. And it's still fun. It's not like it's totally ruined and destroyed. It's still playable. It's just definitely less enjoyable than it was. But that's, you know, that's the way things go. It's an unfinished game. It's still not released. This patch was, from my understanding, supposed to be the last patch before release. And I guess it is. I just mistook it for the way they worded it. I thought that meant that this would be the release patch. But I guess this is the last, like, final patch as far as balancing and fixing and all that goes. And then they'll have one more little polishing patch that hits either later this week or early next week before the game releases. It is still slated to release in February, which means it can release next week on Monday if they want to. So it's still going to be a February release. They still have a week to get it out, and that's their plan. As far as you know, the other changes, aside from the massive hit to attack speed users, they changed a lot in the devotion tree. I recommend you get on their website and read all the changes, or you can just tinker around in the devotion tree and figure it out for yourself, just, you know, looking at them all. They made a lot of changes. Huge. Like, they added tons and tons of stats to almost every skill in that tree. They removed stats from a few, but not that many. It was mostly adding just tons and tons of cool stuff to help balance out the tree. They, you know, that way, again, it's to help promote diversity. Because with the way the old tree was, pretty much anyone that wanted to go beyond... I just realized I'm not playing on veteran. That's why this is so frickin' easy. I gotta fix that. Whoa! I've never seen a hero this low level. Huh. Maybe that's one of the changes. More heroes. I'm alright with that. Anyway, yeah, I just realized I'm not playing on veteran. I need to fix that. This is too easy. I also still haven't decided what the hell I'm going to build this guy and how I'm going to play him. I'm just playing and talking at the moment. Yeah, let's fix that. But, there we go. So yeah, tons and tons of devotion tree changes. So, I recommend reading the patch notes. But you can go about it however the hell you want. It's your choice. Your time that you're spending, so do what you play. Do what you please. They also added achievements, finally. Awesome. Some are retroactive, some are not. So, like these, complete the game on Elite, yada yada, those are not retroactive. I've clearly completed the game if I have characters in Elite mode. But it doesn't count them. Another reason I'm doing a brand new playthrough with a brand new character is, you know, to get these achievements that were not retroactive. Most of them don't really matter. These story ones, you know, all this stuff, I have to get all those again that I've gotten many, many times before. This, again, still never done that, but I'm real close on one of my guys. I have 40 something. I've done that. See, I've done all these. It just, they're not retroactive. Challenges, I'm pretty sure I've done a few of them, but not all of them. This one is ridiculous. I don't know how the hell. I guess if you didn't do any side stuff and you just followed the trail straight to Warden, then I guess you could get there before level 11, but damn. I mean, it's not even killing him on veteran mode at level 11, or under level 11 that's hard. I think it's getting to him while you're still only level 10 is what's hard. But I'll give it a try with one of my guys someday. Why not? Something to do. And there's a bunch like, you know, kill this guy in ultimate, kill this guy. Flagration collector. Try to remember what that is. Oh, yeah, I know what that is. That's where I frickin' died on my elementalist twice trying to get to. That place sucks. Place is up over here. Oh no, that's immolation. Oh, I know. Flagration's here. Okay. But anyway, back to changes. They also... Apparently they said they did something where it shows your main hand and offhand damage separate on skills now. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I haven't really actively looked, but I haven't seen that change yet. I'm not sure what they were talking about. Wow. Yeah, see, attack speed is bad now. You know, I guess one of the reasons they did that thing to attack speed, that they were saying another reason behind it was to make it so like daggers and weapons that are naturally faster, make them more beneficial versus slower weapons. Because before, slower weapons obviously hit harder, but they attacked slower. That was their disadvantage. But if you stacked up a truckload of attack speed, it didn't make a damn difference. You'd still attack just as fast as you would with the smaller, faster weapon, but you'd be putting out significantly higher damage. And so that is another reason they did it. So as you can see, I mean, while using a two-hander now, my base attack speed is bad. It's horrible. So the only attack speed that got nerfed was weapon attack speed. All your gear and stuff is still the same. It's still additive. It's only your weapon attack speed that's multiplicative. So, you know, normally I think the base attack speed on these guns before, on rifles, on very slow things, was like 90 something. And so by taking that and then adding the other bonuses and everything, you could get them way the hell up there. But now you can't. So they've basically they're just trying to balance the game out. I'm not mad at them for it. I get it. It's balance. It's changes. That's what happens with a game that's ever changing and growing, and technically still not even released. I mean, of course it's going to change. It hasn't even come out yet. It just sucks. You know, I spend hours and hours and hours putting all this stuff into this character and building him just how I want him, and to have him come out and say, oh, sorry, we've just destroyed his abilities. But it happens. And that's why I'm starting fresh with another guy. It was about time anyway. I was level 71 with my guy, and that's time to try something else out. But honestly, I may go a dual wield pistol build again, because it was that much fun. I truly loved it. I love the feeling, I love the aspect, I love Gunslinger. Like, it's just a cool thing to me. I love it. Dual wielding pistols is just badass. In all those old shooter games, Halo and any of those, if I could dual wield some shit, that's what I was doing. And I got damn good with it. It was a blast. But I love dual wielding. I don't know why. Let's see, I'm trying to think. What other major changes? They supposedly, I haven't seen it yet. I should get on one of my other higher level characters and show you. They also, I'd have to go find it. They made some major changes to like the terrain in some way. It was Arkovian foothills. They changed some things. What else? There's a couple other zones. Again, you'd have to look at the patch notes to be sure on that, but where they changed the way the terrain and the surrounding areas looked, like they drastically changed them. Yeah, it was the Arkovian foothills and some sort of ruins. I don't frickin' remember. It was a lot, and a lot of patch notes and a lot of reading, and let's just say I don't remember all of it. It was a lot. I mean, it was almost 900 megabyte patch of just changes and fixes. Like, there was nothing new added, just things changed and balanced. And I guess they added some things as far as like terrain and that goes to those areas. They did some new artwork on a few of the skills. I haven't seen it yet personally, but I will take a look. It's the Hellhound. They changed the graphics to like the effects to all his skills, her skills, whatever, its skills. I don't know what sex it is. And they also changed its like physical appearance. It looks different now. It's supposed to look, you know, much meaner, much more like a Hellhound should look, instead of just this, you know, pixelated little dog that's on fire. Haven't had a chance to look at it, but I'm thinking it looks pretty badass. People are saying it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's about all that's I can think of as far as major changes with this patch. So there's some real good stuff. Oh, they've increased the drop rate of legendary items on Elite and Ultimate difficulties. And I believe the percentage changes were 15 and 25%. I think. I could be wrong, but that's what I remember. I'm going to double check real quick so I don't totally throw you guys off. Let's see. Because yeah, that's another big plus is, I guess before the drop rate on those items was not increased at all in higher difficulties. That obviously, you know, upset people. It's like, what's the point of farming the higher level difficulties if you're not getting any extra gear? You're playing the harder parts of the game and getting less reward for it. It's just, it wasn't worth it. So people weren't a fan of that. And then, okay, well, my phone's being a piece of shit right now. It's not my phone, it's my internet. If any of you know how to fix this shit, I don't know what's wrong with my stuff. Got this badass new router for Christmas. Anything that's on the 5G network of that router, smoking fast, like over 120 megabit download speeds and like 30 megabit upload. It's ridiculous. But anything on the 2.4, or is it 2.5? I don't fucking remember. Anything on the slower version of the frickin' network. Pretty sure it's 2.4, isn't it? So anything on the slower network, the slower channel, is like way fucking slower. Like it's horrible. I mean, like there'll be times where I'll be trying to watch something on Netflix in the other room, and it'll, like, the quality will just dumb down to like an old VHS. Like, it looks absolutely horrible, and I don't know why. I don't know why this badass router does so well in the 5G channel, but the 2.4 channel is worse than my old like $40 piece of shit router. I don't get it. So if any of you techies watching this video know what the hell I've done wrong or how I can fix it, please comment about it, because it drives me insane. I want it fixed. Alright, let's see if I can pull this up. Oh, well, here we go. On the front page, it now says Grim Dawn exits Steam Early Access for full release this Thursday, February 25th. So I'm not sure if they'll have another patch out by then, just for a little release patch or not, just to polish a few more things. I think they're planning on it, but who knows, you know. Plan on a lot of things, doesn't mean they happen. Okay, so let's see. I'm just going to go over these patch notes real quick. Oh, major big deal. Another reason to start a new character. Very important. They've added cutscenes. The first cutscene is awesome, by the way. For those of you who don't like reading all the quest text and all that, it kind of clears up a lot of stuff for you just in that first little video. They've also added voiceovers to all like the quest dialogues and everything like that. That's another badass thing. It's awesome. Let's see what else here. So, it says a mighty earthquake has erupted in the land of Old Arkovia. Mountains collapsed into the world's crust. New rivers formed. Ancient ruins were revealed. So players who previously explored this region may need to rediscover the Twin Falls Rift Gate. So the Twin Falls area also got some major changes done to it, making it so the Rift Gate, I guess, has been moved to a different location somewhere. So you'll have to rediscover it. So if you load up your game and can't use the Twin Falls Rift Gate, that's why. They added final art set for Trozen's Ascension and Valdun's Treachery. Those are sets. Let's see, they got... So yeah, they added new trees, like more of them and a new looking tree. So the Burwitch Outskirts, Burwitch Village, and the East Marsh. So I'm excited to see that here soon once I get there. They updated the Mortar Trap effects, Hellhound Mesh, Aura effects, and icons and animations. So they basically completely overhauled the Hellhound, which, cool, he needed it. They updated many projectile impact and AoE spell effects. Cool. Good stuff. They added numerous new environment assets to Old Arkovia and surrounding ruin dungeons. I've seen some screenshots of those that they kind of sneak peeked us before, and they look pretty badass. Let's see, new two-hand weapon default attack animation. Well, it must be for melee weapons, because the ranged weapon definitely didn't change. What else we got here? Fixed a bunch of bugs. They optimized the pathfinding system. This is one I was very excited for. So by doing that, not only is it obviously going to make it easier to like go where you know, have your character go where you want it to when you click there, instead of having to like try to fucking walk up to some rooftop up above through some stupid ass way just because you accidentally clicked there. It also improves skills like Blitz and it's called Shadow Strike, right? I believe so. So it makes it so those skills now, so Blitz will actually push through groups of enemies now, instead of stopping when it hits one and not hitting the target that's behind him that you clicked, because that was incredibly annoying. Fucking hated that. That used to, oh, that made me so mad when that happened. I got to the point where I had to adapt and get used to clicking the guy in the front of the group instead of the back, and that's just dumb. So I'm glad they fixed that. Shadow Strike now will go like through the group, like you'll teleport past all the enemies to your target. Another big improvement, because you used to get hung up on mobs and kind of glitch out for a minute, and then you wouldn't actually, you'd end up hitting nobody, you'd just stand there. It was dumb. So another major awesome feature. Let's see, loot no longer falls off cliffs and other high places. Not really a big deal, because you could still click the loot and it still worked. It was just kind of annoying. Let's see. Bug. Let's see. Most secret areas now have significantly improved loot the first time you discover them on a character per difficulty. That's cool. That's always good. That's all crap. They changed a bunch of stuff with some of these, like Nemesis characters and some of the higher level hero mobs. You'll just have to read about that stuff, because it's like a few paragraphs worth of changes. I'm not going to go over all of that. Damage over time effects can now critically strike and trigger on crit effects. That's a major change for damage over time builds. That's huge. I mean, just about every build out there, every skill tree has at least one dot damage attack that's like a bleed or something. Bleeds, poisons, curse, whatever the fuck, they're all considered damage over time. So that's a big damage boost to just about every build. Unless you are a pure physical build that does nothing but just pure physical damage. Which, that's a horrible idea. Don't do that. Let's see, Devotion. Again, you'll have to read that. That's like, fucking, wow. That's like probably 3 or 4 pages worth of shit right there. Few changes to Soldier. Not a ton, but some. You know, most of the stuff is best if you read it yourself. I don't know. If you're like me, I do better reading it myself than having somebody tell me. So that's all. Go for it. Demolitionist. I was very, very glad to see that they did not nerf Fire Strike. I was happy. Super happy about that. That was awesome. Because I was really sweating that. Because of how big they buffed it before, I was sure they were just going to destroy it. Had they have nerfed Fire Strike along with that attack speed nerf, every demolitionist spec range character out there would become absolutely worthless. You couldn't even play anymore. So it's a good thing they didn't touch Fire Strike. Would have been horrible. Quite a few changes to Occultist and Nightblade. A decent amount to Arcanist, and just a couple little changes to Shaman. So you'll have to check those out on your own. Like I said, it's best if you read them by yourself. Pages and pages. I mean, we're talking probably 10 to 15, maybe even 20 pages worth of item changes. I mean, huge. So many item changes. It's ridiculous. And that's what I was talking about earlier as far as they added attack speed to a lot of items now. They've adjusted the amount of attack speed that items give. So, yes, weapons got nerfed bad. But if you itemize properly and you spec your devotion trees properly, move some points around, you can get your attack speed back that you lost. It's just going to require a little bit of work. But it is possible. So don't give up. Give it a shot. Or do what I'm doing. With a build with this many changes in it, just start fresh. Say, fuck it. Start over. You can use all your shared stash items and shit, but start fresh. You'll thank me later when you do. It's worth it. I believe that's it. Lots of changes to crafting and relics. Lots and lots of relic changes. So, but yeah, that is it. So, I highly recommend, read the patch notes for yourself to make sure you don't miss anything that's important to you. I basically told you all the major changes, the stuff that I feel is important. That doesn't mean that I told you all the important stuff, because what's important to me might not be important to you. And vice versa. So take 20 minutes, 30 minutes, set aside and read the patch notes, and get an idea for yourself. Take a close look at your characters, your items, your devotions for sure. Even some of your skills. Depending on your class, you may have some significant changes to your skill tree that you're going to want to check out. So I recommend it. The game is still amazing. It's just we now need to adapt to these changes. And once we do, we'll be happy and having a rootin' tootin' good time again. Alright, well that's all for me. I'm going to get back to attempting to level this new character, and because I want to pound out this guy's levels fast. So yeah, that's it for me. I will make videos with this new character Still don't know what the hell it's going to be. I'm almost positive it's going to be something to do with dual-wielding pistols again. I know you guys maybe don't want to see that stuff again, but I can tell you it won't be an elementalist. I'm going to do it with a different class. It'll be, I don't know what class combo yet. I don't even know if I'm going demolitionist. I might do something entirely different without demolitionist. I have not decided. But stay tuned. There will be videos of him killing Warden in veteran mode here within the next day, most likely. So yeah, stay tuned. If you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video if you would, please. That would also be great. If you don't like what you see, comment and tell me why. Later, gamers.